Today, we're diving into a hot topic, especially among MarketBeat users. We're talking about stocks that have soared after earnings and analyst upgrades. These are stocks that are moving higher already, so let's talk about it. Chris, Thomas, I'm excited to dive deeper in today's topic. Stocks that have upgraded after earnings is a big part of what we do here at MarketBeat, and I want to talk about the factors that contribute to the upgrades of each stock you have for us today. But first, I want to get leveled on this. Thomas, can you just briefly tell us the stocks we're going to talk about today and maybe the factors that contribute to these stocks experiencing significant upgrades after their earnings reports?
Yeah, today we're talking about Meta Platforms, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Salesforce. And these companies all produce a significant outperformance. They've raised their guidance, and they're all part of the AI rush, which is really having a significant impact on the forward outlook for earnings.
Perfect. So Thomas, Chris, we have that list of stocks you say are good. They're good picks based on a number of upgrades by analysts. And let's dive into those specific names you had mentioned. Thomas, let's start with Meta. What can you share with us?
Yeah, Meta has been on the list of MarketBeat's most upgraded stocks since the turn of the year. They've been in and out of first position. They're in first position now. This story just keeps getting better, really. The market hit a bottom, and then Zuckerberg surprised everybody with a pledge for efficiency that's put the company on track for better profitability. They had some user turnaround, and now the AI story is playing into that.
Chris, are you on the same page here with Meta?
Not really. I mean, I can't argue with what the analysts are saying. I mean, or in terms of it is what it is. It's number one on the analyst rate, number one on the analyst upgrades. I don't necessarily see the same story with Meta. I get it that they've been streamlining the organization, which means they've been laying off employees. I think there was just an announcement the other day that said they're laying off like 500 more employees in New York. I don't know how far that gets the company. They're still talking about the metaverse, and yet the metaverse still remains kind of ill-defined for them. And I don't see them as being necessarily, they certainly aren't a pure play in AI, and I don't necessarily know where they fit in there. But kudos to those people that got in January, because I would have probably had Facebook going down closer to 100, certainly not where it's at today.
Mm-hmm. AI. I think it's safe to say AI is a theme in the market now, but is that affecting the upgrades list?
Yes, it absolutely is. Microsoft is number 2 on the most upgraded stocks list. It was there already, or on the most upgraded stocks list, because of cloud services. Cloud services are gaining traction. It's emerging as a leader, where AWS was dominating the market before that. But now also AI. Microsoft is planning to embed or has embedded AI into most of its services, and that should drive revenue and earnings over the long term.
Chris, are you in on Microsoft?
Yeah, there's no disagreement between Thomas and I on this one. I totally see where the analysts are coming from here. One thing I've always liked about Microsoft is multiple ways to bring in revenue. This is a company that is a leadership position. They're taking a leadership position in generative AI. You see that in what the analysts are not only in their upgrading the rating, but upgrading the price targets. And let's not forget that Microsoft puts that nice little dividend in there too. So among tech stocks, not much of a better stock you can own than Microsoft.
Okay, so maybe Microsoft might be the leader, but what about Nvidia? It's a hot name in AI right now. I think this might be the leader. What do you have to say about Nvidia?
Yeah, Nvidia delivered some game-changing news with their last earnings report. Not only did they beat top and bottom line, the guidance was stunning, 50% above consensus. That's a major tailwind for the stock. They are the first wave of the AI boom. It could last for several years for them, and they could wind up in number 2 or number 1 spot on the most upgraded stocks list very soon.
So like you said, the AI boom is just getting started. Nvidia is at the forefront of this revolution. Chris, I know you're waiting to jump in on this one. What are you thinking?
Well, I can't disagree again with where the analysts are upgrading Nvidia. Nvidia is the kind of they're the engine that's going to drive AI. Like Thomas said, they're at the forefront of all this. All these companies that are going into AI are going to need chips, and Nvidia is the company that's producing those chips right now. I mean, the processing speed that we're going to need is just incredible. And right now, Nvidia is the only game in town as far as that goes. There's a part of me that it's not I should say I'm not surprised to see Nvidia kind of consolidate a little bit this week, because even I was like, oh boy, that stock's really getting up there. And is it getting to the point where it's a little bit overbought right now? But at the same time, I've been hearing analysts make very convincing cases for where you could see Nvidia get to $600 a share by 2025. And when I hear them talk about it, I'm like, okay, that's really not that unrealistic.
All right, we love talking about Nvidia, but let's talk about the next stock on our list, Salesforce. Thomas, what kind of story is this?
Yeah, Salesforce is a different kind of a story. This is business services and CRM. They're a leader in CRM, customer relationship management. Their growth is solid without AI, but AI is going to help boost that. They're using it to help themselves and their clients, and the results have landed them on the number 4 spot on the most upgraded list.
Interesting for sure. Chris, I want to hear your perspective on Salesforce. How is it serving investors?
Well, you know, again, I applaud investors that got in on Salesforce early in the year because they've done really well recently. Personally, I'm thinking this rally is looking a little bit long in the tooth. I just saw something that came out that said the analyst firm Stifel surveyed Salesforce customers, and about 90% of them were saying that they were either going to be keeping their spending the same or lowering the amount of spending they were doing with Salesforce. And that leads me to wonder what's going to happen. Salesforce has been putting priority on boosting earnings, and that's usually corporate speak for we're going to be laying people off. We're going to be doing other cost-cutting measures. Like Meta, I don't know. I think that only gets you so far. And as Thomas said, Salesforce isn't a pure play in AI. So not sure where it goes from here. But again, analysts have given a lot of upgrades. So you kind of have to look at that too and say you can't fight that.
Right. So Chris, just to speak about the AI market, with Nvidia at the forefront, that's the chips and the leading edge. Over the long term, the projections are that the AI services will be the largest and the fastest growing segment. It's just going to take a little while for these companies really to gain traction in that regard.
I just wanted to switch gears here really quick and kind of talk about how investors can find these stocks if they're not interested in the list that we provided them today, or even if they are interested in the ones that we have on our list. How did you find these stocks, Thomas?
Well, by tracking the analyst sentiment, the analysts hold a lot of sway over the market. You don't want to follow a single upgrade or a downgrade, but a change or a shift in the sentiment, the trend of the sentiment can certainly have an impact on stocks direction. So this list came off of MarketBeat's list of most upgraded stocks that can be filtered for sector, industry, and time frame. And then there's also the list of day-to-day upgrades. So you can use either one of those lists to find stocks that are getting analyst attention.
Like Thomas said, if you're looking for stocks worth considering or looking to consider the ones that we laid out for you today, MarketBeat's tracking page for the most upgraded stocks is a great place to start. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And I want to give a free month to the first 10 people that start their comment with "free is for me." So go ahead, leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think about these stock picks, if you're investing in any of these or looking at others. We'll see you next time.